there, I'm Tom Field. I'm Senior Vice President of Editorial with Information Security Media Group. Very pleased to welcome you to our panel discussion today. Topic of conversation is Texas A&M University system, their cyber operations, and how they're driving efficient scaling with Tines and Elastic. We've brought together an all-star panel. It includes Rosie Halpin, Product Manager with Tines, Jared Payne, who is Director, Solution Architecture, U.S. Public Sector with Elastic, and Braxton Williams, Engineering Manager with Texas A&M University System. But before I bring together our panel, a little bit of information about today's session. We are going to talk today about how the Texas A&M University System Cyber Operations Team, a public land-grant research institution protecting 11 universities and 8 state agencies, how they leverage Tines and Elastic to deliver an efficient and scalable approach to detection and response. In this session, you'll learn how to improve response times with automated detection and remediation, increase efficiency by reducing manual workloads and streamlining workflows, scale security operations seamlessly without the need for additional hiring, and gain centralized visibility to monitor threats and incidents in real time. I do want to take just a minute to tell you about my organization, the Information Security Media Group. We're a global education and intelligence firm. We're based in the U.S. in Princeton, New Jersey, and of course, you may know us by any number of our 37 media properties. These include Bank Info Security, Data Breach Today, and AItoday.io. In all, we serve an audience of over 1.3 million security and technology leaders globally, and we give them a daily diet of news, analysis, research, events, and educational programs just like this one. Just a few notes of housekeeping. One, if you have any questions for our panelists, you can submit them anytime by the chat window on your screen. We may not get to every question today, but don't worry. If we don't answer your question, we will get a response back to you afterwards via email. Now, should you encounter any technical issues while viewing today's webinar, take down that email address you see on your screen. If you write to webinars@ismg.io, we have got support staff standing by to help. And a reminder that today's webinar is copyrighted material meant for today's session and individual study purposes only. If you would like to use any of the information presented today, or if you are looking for customized training materials, please contact us. Let's take a moment to meet our sponsors. First, Elastic. They're the leading platform for search-powered solutions, and they help everyone, organizations, employees, customers, find what they need faster while keeping applications running smoothly and protecting against cyber threats. When you tap into the power of Elastic Enterprise Search, observability, and security solutions, you're in good company with brands such as Uber, Slack, Microsoft, and thousands of others who rely on Elastic to accelerate results that matter. To learn more, visit elastic.com. At Tines, they are building a future where technology empowers businesses and people to work smarter and more securely. Leaders across a wide array of industries, including Canva, Databricks, Elastic, Kayak, Intercom, and McKesson, use Tines' AI-powered workflows to operate more effectively, mitigate risk, reduce tech debt, and do the work that matters most. Co-headquartered in Dublin and Boston, Tines has raised $272 million in funding to date from investors including Goldman Sachs, SoftBank, and others. To learn more, please visit Tines.com. Once again, I'm going to introduce our speakers. I'm going to do it quickly. We're going to welcome Rosie Halpin, Product Manager at Tines, who drives product strategy and development across Tines' workflow builder platforms known as the Storyboard. Jared Payne, Director, Solution Architecture, U.S. Public Sector, Elastic, has spent more than 20 years dedicated to serving the public sector, helping state, local, and education IT teams build and optimize their operations with open source and next-generation technologies. And Braxton Williams is the Engineering Manager for the Texas A&M University System Cyber Operations Team, where he leads the security engineering and architecture, detection engineering, and cyber threat intelligence functions. With that, let's welcome our all-star panel. Folks, thanks so much for being here for this webinar today.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start the conversation here. Jared and Rosie, I wonder if you can offer some context. Talk about how Elastic and Tines commonly work together to help organizations such as Texas A&M.
Definitely. With Tines and Elastic, you can connect real-time analysis
and AI-powered workflows, which results in faster issue resolution, reduced cost, and overall less stress and workload on practitioners. We see at many organizations just overwhelming levels of complexity, and Tines and Elastic together can really help teams work effectively through real-time insights that cut through the noise and automation that keeps pace with their needs.
Yeah, Rosie, you said something about like faster issue resolution, reduced costs, and even less stress. And with our joint offering, specifically like us together, raising operational efficiency, resolving issues faster, reducing costs, these are all top of mind when I talk to other people around the United States. So how do we at least resolve issues faster? We're able to connect disjointed systems. We can coordinate across different teams. And then with the backing power of our generative AI, we can expedite investigation and response. Raising operational efficiencies is huge because we could build workflows and leverage our AI features to empower anybody's team to work repetitive tasks faster and more consistently across the board. Rosie, one of the things that you said was reducing costs, and we can mitigate security incidents, avoid costly service disruptions, handle growing demands with your existing resources. And we all know that data is expensive. And so like that long-term storage of data, we can help reduce those costs extravagantly across your entire environment. The last thing that we can really do and that we help when we work together is execute. We can standardize the operating procedures. We can foster collaboration, and we just embed transparency to drive continuous improvement across the board.
That's great context, great way to start. Perhaps I want to bring you into the conversation. I want to start at the beginning. What do your system cyber operations cover? Talk a little bit about your role and where were you most challenged to detect and respond efficiently?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. So at Texas A&M University System, we built out a cyber operations team that covers all 11 universities and 8 state agencies, as well as we also actually serve external customers. We got a private university, some nonprofits, some city governments. We're basically trying to provide our service out to the public at cost to kind of as an MDR, full managed detection and response service, just to improve security across the state of Texas and wherever we can. So pretty much that kind of entails endpoint monitoring, network monitoring, and we're doing that all with Elastic and Tines together to drive our workflows. For my role, I'm our engineering manager here, and I kind of orchestrate our Elastic platform, do a lot of the automation in our Tines workspace, as well as kind of lead our cyber threat intelligence, detection engineering, kind of all the supporting functions that let our analysts do what they needed to do day to day, which is investigating alerts and remediating incidents. It's all we do. It's the bread and butter. And really, the hard part about doing what we are doing for the system and our external customers is the scale. You know, it's somewhat easier to take a internal security team and do security for a single organization where you know all the tool sets, you know all the systems, you know the enterprise. For us, it's really been a challenge to not just handle one enterprise, but handle 11 of them and then some. And, you know, I think we're up to 23 now and of various sizes and every in composition. And so for us, we've really had the issue of how do we bring our workflow to all those customers in one way? And that's really where we've kind of looked to Elastic and Tines to bring it all together.
So tell me, Braxton, what was your approach to security operations before you started looking at the next generation security products?
Yeah, so we built our original kind of operations team out just purely off of an EDR product. We were in-game customers way back in the day. In fact, I think we were one of the earliest customers for them. And so we built a operations team, an incident response team, just purely on ADR product. We went in there and were able to take an enterprise on fire, to say the least, and bring an EDR in and start solving problems. And that works at a certain scale, and it works for a little bit till you really get into more of a in-depth monitoring type configuration, and that's where we really started running into friction.
So what brought you to Elastic and Tines?
Well, Elastic acquired Endgame, and so we kind of got purchased into the family, and it was one of the best things that's actually happened for our operations. We were able to take a look at the rest of Elastic's platform and capabilities and decided to bring in their SIEM product, the whole cluster all together, and we've just continued to adopt feature after feature as it's gone, because it's kind of a no-brainer for what we're doing. And it really lets us bring all of our eventing and logging and everything else into one place, into that full kind of XDR type solution. And that's really what's been able to help us scale. We then ran into the issue with Elastic, where we were doing a lot of different things in Elastic and in a lot of very specific workflows, given how we're operating as kind of a full MDR provider. And so we look to automation solutions to bring in the SOAR component to try to reduce some of the workload off our analysts and reduce the friction between our different case management systems and Elastic and all of the other security tooling that's out throughout our customer environments. And that's where we found Tines and brought Tines in to start kind of being the glue to bring everything together and let our analysts get back to analyzing things and not having to copy and paste data around and all of those things that security analysts never want to do.
Very well said. So Jared, Rosie, what challenge would you say that Texas A&M presented to your teams?
Texas A&M came to us with a lot of the challenges and the set of challenges that we see frequently at a lot of customers. They definitely weren't alone. There, as Braxton said, were a lot of manual processes that impacted their response time, were very time consuming. You know, they were taking away analyst time from actually analyzing things and causing them to do these sort of error prone, very time consuming processes that just weren't working super well for them. They had a set of disparate tools that couldn't easily talk to each other. That hinders teams' efficiencies, overall limited visibility into their network of environments, and then additionally scaling efforts hindered by their current workflows. So these are really common problems that we see across our customer base. Because of that, our team thinks about them all the time. We work every day to help customers solve those problems. And we are really lucky to see success using Tines and using Elastic together. At GitLab, we were able to save over 1,000 hours per year and reduce burnout on the team. At McKesson, we were able to save 1.5 full analyst time per week. So once again, as Braxton was saying, you're able to spend that time actually doing the job that you like to do. And then finally, at the Broad Institute at MIT and Harvard, we were able to take a process that takes 2 to 3 weeks to complete and solve and solve that in seconds without the team needing to interact with it at all.
Yeah, so from my side of the house, I mean, Texas A&M has their own problems / complexities that we tried to help solve. But I think at least what I'm seeing across the entire EDU space, like the major things that they needed are almost standard across almost all of the EDU space. And that comes down to just the cost, complexity, compliance, and just next gen technology. I mean, when you really stop and think about it, like I've been here at Elastic for a while, and I've seen the evolution from where we're at to where we are today. And Braxton, I know you've seen it as well, right? It's and you made the comment about like Endgame being acquired from Elastic. I remember where I was at specifically when that happened. Like the line at our booth at the conference I was at just became like 40 people deep within a period of 10 seconds. But the thing is that we help solve with the cost with like large term data storage. You were able to search on that data operationally, effectively, efficiently, and fast. You were able to build out a scalable system. I mean, we've grown with you year over year just because of the fact that all of the things that you all are doing is building upon the data that you're ingesting into Elastic and storing for long periods of time. And I think one of the biggest things that it's just that we stay on top of the next generative technologies that are out there, right? With our use of generative AI, with the features that we're putting in. I think that we're really fortunate from the Elastic side of the house, is that we are a technology first company and we are a customer first company. And that is something that resonates, I think, with everybody that we work with, or everybody that I work with across the United States. Not only is it with partnering with Tynes or partnering with Texas A&M, we're helping to drive a lot of these problems and solve them efficiently, effectively, and help you be prepared for what's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, very well said. So Braxton, what changes did you introduce and what results have you seen so far?
So bringing in Elastic to start with, we started kind of actually operating with a SIEM, and we're able to deploy detections at scale and kind of get a much quicker insight as to what was going on in our customer environments. And as we've rolled out our service to more customers, Elastic's just grown with that. And so we've seen a massive reduction in, people having to run down some specific device or wait for some other person in IT to go find the laptop in a closet or whatever. And so having that full SIEM and the data availability there has really accelerated our analyst capabilities. Bringing in Tynes, we were able to automate most of our case workflow using that. And so we've got a seamless solution to connect Elastic to our external case management, and not only kind of transform data and move it across, but also extract constant statistics and metrics from the entire workflow and stick those right back in Elastic, where we're able to visualize them and be able to see kind of what the performance is across what we're doing step by step. It's really introduced a kind of unrivaled insight into not just our customer environments, but our own processes, our own investigation workflow. We've really kind of got into a place where we have a better idea of what we're doing in the day-to-day than I think a lot of other folks can get to out there in the security environment. And that's really due to all of the integrations where we can stick Elastic and Tynes together.
So Braxton, given where you are today, what other opportunities do you see to better utilize Elastic and Tynes together, and what are you working on next?
So we've got a lot of great ideas and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I mean, as Jared mentioned, the generative technology is seeming like it's the way of the future, and so we've started to try to get onto that train, not only with Elastic's tools, and we've also started using Tynes' own tools. We've got a pretty neat workflow where we're summarizing reported phishing emails and generating scores based off of that, and it's been a big kind of accelerator for our operations. So we're planning on doing more of that, more tooling and integration with Elastic Security Assistant, integrating knowledge base. We've got a pretty wide customer environment, so we're working on bringing all of our customer environment documentation into the knowledge base for the security assistant, and allowing our analysts to kind of get to everything in one place instead of having to look everything up individually externally. So we've got a lot of cool stuff going on with that. We're working on expanding our cyber threat intelligence programs, detection engineering programs. So we're going to be automating a lot more of our processes. So our detections, we're going to be going to full detections as code, automated testing and validation. I'm sure we'll probably use Tynes as part of the workflow automation and dealing with all that, as well as Tynes is going to continue to be the bread and butter kind of managing our data from system to system. So as we bring our CTI program online, we're going to be using Tynes to sync case data from Elastic into our TIP and be able to drive those correlations and enrichments right back into Elastic. So it's all kind of coming together in a lot of different ways there.
Oh, what some great opportunities there. Rosie, Jared, I got to ask you, what do you say would be the key takeaways for organizations in a similar position that want to increase the efficiency in their security operations? What's your advice?
I really think Braxton said it so much better than I ever could. But so I think my first advice would be to talk to Braxton. But if you can't talk to Braxton because he does have other things to be doing, I really think using Tynes and Elastic together can unlock efficiencies in your security operations processes. We see at joint customers a significant reduction in process time, severe incidents, a reduced time to resolution. and increased efficiency. And it is pretty easy to get started. We have over 30 pre-built workflows with Elastic and Tines that can really cut that any time to like set up or sort of time to get started there, so that you can just really start to see all of these efficiencies that we've been talking about.
Yeah, as Rosie said, I think Braxton, like, I can't say it even any better. But what Rosie really focused on was our partnership, right? And how well Elastic and Tines really works together. We're not just two solutions that you just slap in and be like, well, I hope it works. Like we work very well together. Like our engineering teams are side by side. And so one of the things that I firmly believe that you're going to get with our partnership is just the ease of solving your security challenges. And I know from a fact from our side of the house that we take the people that use us very seriously. We want to make sure that they're successful. We want to make sure that they're happy and content, and we will bend over backwards for them. And we firmly believe that Tines does that as well. And so you're not only going to get two companies that really care about the software that they're giving you, but you're going to have two allies on your side that are going to help you solve critical and challenging problems over and over and over again. Yeah, and that's what it really comes down for, is that we help you solve problems, and we're a partnership, whether it's the customer base or Tines and Elastic together. We're here to help.
No, again, excellent case study. I appreciate the insight you shared. Rosie, Jared, Braxton, that brings us to the end of our formal discussion here. I want to thank you for your insight, but we do have the opportunity to take some additional questions. I'll remind our attendees, if you have questions for our panelists, you haven't submitted them, do it now. Put them right in that chat window. Any question I can't answer today, we will get a response back to you directly via email. So first question I have, Jared, Rosie, it's for you. It's an obvious one. How does an organization get started working with you?
I can go ahead and take that. So I mean, the first thing is just contact us. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. It is reach out to my team, and just ask for help. I mean, like I said, we partner very well with the Tines team, so we will bring them in as well. And I'm sure the same thing goes to Rosie, right? Like, reach out to them, and if you have any questions from an Elastic side, they can easily bring us into as well. But first step, contact us. We're happy to jump in and answer any questions, whether big or small. And I always tell my team this: you're not bothering us. Like, we're happy to help. Let's get it done.
Rosie, anything you
Yep.
care to add to that?
Jared summed it up really well. And as we've said before, we work very closely together. So if you contact one of us, I'm sure the other will be looped in pretty quickly. If you do already have Elastic, for example, we do have a free community edition of Tines. So you can always take that out, import any of those pre-built workflows and get started without even needing to, contact sales or set up a demo or anything too, if you're interested in checking it out that way as well.
Very good. Braxton, I've got a question for you. How do you see this partnership between Elastic and Tines benefiting your organization? How would you sum that up?
Well, it's kind of interesting for us because we got in with Elastic pretty early, coming in with Endgame, and then we also just went out and got Tines. I think kind of in the early days of Elastic, even becoming aware of the product and pulling it, in for their own operations, and so we kind of got ahead of the partnership, and I think it's been really great to see the two companies come together and put this partnership together. And for us, it's really nice because we're pretty active and our opinions on the products and kind of the platforms and the service and everything else, as I'm sure both Jared and Rosie can attest to. But we've really tried to drive partnerships with Elastic and with Tines and kind of steer the product into what we need. And I'm an avid submitter of feature requests, so it's really great to see the two of them come together and even get more on the same page, as far as kind of directions and capabilities and integrations. And so for us, we reap the benefits of that by just being able to be that third wheel in the relationship there and kind of be in between both of them and have both of them on the same page with everything we're looking for. And so I think it's really great, and it makes it easier for us as a customer of both organizations to kind of work with them on our next steps and what we're trying to do in the future.
You're a great advocate. Braxton, Jared, Rosie, again, I want to thank you for taking time to share your insights. And thank you for answering questions as well. Been a terrific conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, I want to thank our attendees. You took time out of your day to attend this webinar. We're always grateful for that. And I trust you're walking away with some excellent new insights from this case study. As always, I look forward to seeing you at one of our upcoming events. And until then, for Information Security Media Group, I'm Tom Field. Thank you for your time and attention today.